Yes, welcome to the second session of the sheet 1, in which we are going to deal problems related to the magnetic circuits, some application problems related to the magnetic circuits. In the last video we have discussed about the basic problems of the magnetic circuits, whereas from problem number 5 till problem number 8 we are going to study the applications of the magnetic circuit. Some advanced problems, not so that much difficult, but they are easy if you are going to analyze the magnetic circuits. Coming to the problem number 5, we are having a magnetic system which is shown in figure below with two sides are thicker than the other two sides. It means we are having thinner side, then we are having thicker side. If we check the thinner side, thickness is 10 centimeters and the thicker side's thickness is 15 centimeters. This thickness is 15 centimeters. The depth of the core is 10 centimeters. If we go check the depth inside into the screen is 10 centimeters. The relative permeability of the core mu r is 2000. The number of turns N 500 and the current flowing through the coil is I is equal to 1 ampere. This is the current flowing through the coil. We need to determine the flux in the core, flux density in the parts of the core, current in the coil. These things we need to identify. If we go for the solution, the given depth is 10 centimeters. Converting into meters, the thick side is length of the thicker side is 15 centimeters. How 15 centimeters length of the thicker side? This part is the thickness of the thicker side is 15 centimeters. And also if you check the thickness of the thinner side is 10 centimeters. We classify two types of materials. We are having two types of, one is thicker side, other one is thinner side. The primary target is to calculate the flux in the core. The primary target is to calculate the flux in the core. To start with, if we want to calculate the flux is given by Ni by R total. What is R total? R total is R thickness plus R thin. As we are having two types of material, one is thinner, other one is thick. Let us start the calculation of R thicker side. So reluctance of the thicker side is equal to length of the thicker side divided by mu into cross sectional area of the thicker side. If we check the length of the thicker side, this is the thicker side. Here it means the total length will be 25 centimeters plus this is mean length. We are considering the mean length. It means from the center, if we divide it half, the thickness, if you divide it half, it will be 5 centimeters. 5 centimeters here, 5 centimeters here. So 25 plus 5 plus 5. Total it will be 35 into 10 power minus 2. 5 plus 5 plus 25 into 10 power minus 2. This length is for this side. What about this side? This side is equal to this side. So to the total length on the thicker side we are having 2. 1, 2. So it will be 2 into 5 plus 25 into 10 power minus 2. This is the length of the thicker side divided by permeability of the core mu is equal to mu naught mu r. Mu naught is 4.10 power minus 7, mu r is 2000, which is given in the problem, into cross sectional area. What is the cross sectional area? Cross sectional area is thickness into the depth. Thickness and the depth is into the screen, so it will be 15 into depth is 10 centimeters. 15 into 10, converting it into meters, 10 power minus 4. This comes the reluctance of the thicker side, this side and this side. Now let us go for the thinner side. Reluctance of the thinner side, R thin is equal to same formula, but length will be for thin side, cross sectional area for the thinner side. Thin side length will be, this is the thinner side, length is this length from here till here, nothing but it is from this point, middle of this point to this point. It means 7.5 plus 7.5 plus 25. So it comes to 7.5 plus 7.5 plus 25. Converting into meters, you will get it as 10 to the power of minus 2. As we are having two sides, multiply it with two sides. Thin side, this side and this side, two sides. So multiplying with 2. This will be the total length of the thin side, divided by permeability of the core into absolute permeability into cross sectional area. Cross sectional area is this thickness is 10 centimeters into the depth. Depth is also 10 centimeters. So 10 into 10 into 10 power of minus 4. This completes your reluctance of the. If you simplify all these things, you will get 31830.91 ampere turns per Weber. This completes your reluctance of the thick side, reluctance of the thin side. Total reluctance will be this plus this. The total will be 50398. If you add this parameter and this parameter, you will get 50398.94. So as we need to calculate the flux is equal to N into I divided by the R total. N is 500, current flowing is 1 ampere divided by 50398.94, which you will getting as 0.009921 Webers. 9921 Webers, or simply you will write it like this, no problem. You will get it as 1 milliwebers also, you can write, even that is also right. But let us stop it here, that's not an issue. Now B thick will be equal to it will be 10 milliwebers. If you are converting this, if you are rounding off this parameter will become 1, and then it will be 10 milliwebers. Or you can stop it here. Coming to the second part, we need to calculate the flux density. Flux density on both sides. Flux density is changing as the cross sectional area is changing. Flux density will also change. Flux per unit area. On the thicker side, flux is this. Flux is same circulating. Flux circulating in both thin and thick side is same. What is changing? Cross sectional area is changing. When cross sectional area is changing, flux density will also change. The next parameter that we need to calculate is the flux density. So flux density is equal to 0.009, this value divided by the cross sectional area of the thicker side, 150 into 10 to the power of minus 4. How we got this 150? From here, cross sectional area of the thick side. This is the thick side, this is the width, and the depth is 10. 15 into 10 will become 150. Converting it into meters, you will get it as 150 into 10 to the power of minus 4. Similarly, for thin side, same flux divided by the cross sectional area. Width is 10 centimeters and the depth is also 10 centimeters. So 100 into 10 into 10, 100 into 10 to the power of minus 4 meter square. You will get, this is the flux density on the thinner side. The thinner side. Now what we need to calculate? C parameter. The C parameter is, we have calculated the flux and also flux densities in the different part of the core. Now we need to find the current in the coil to produce a flux of this much. It means the flux is this much. What will be the current? If you want to produce a flux of this much, what should be the current value? For this flux, let us calculate the flux density. Flux density for the given flux on the thicker side will be 0.012 divided by the cross sectional area into, you will get it as 0.80, and for thinner side 0.12 divided by 100 into 10 power of minus 4 is equal to 1.2 flux per unit area, this formula. Now it means for generating a flux of 0.12, this is the flux density, and we need to evaluate the current. We want this current value. For that we need to calculate H thick, we need to calculate H thin. So using this, H thick will be equal to 0.8 B thick divided by mu. B thick divided by mu, which is equal to 0.8 divided by 4 mu naught mu r. Mu naught value is 4 pi into 10 to the power of minus 7 and mu r is 2000, which is equal to 318.31 ampere turns per meter. Similarly, H thin will be equal to flux density 1.2 divided by mu naught mu r, which is equal to 477.46 ampere turns per meter. Now the total flux will be equal to H into L, H thick into L thick plus H thin into L thin. H thin into L thin. How we got this length? Same from here. From the circuit, this length, this is L thick, this plus this is L thick, and L thin will be this plus this, what that we have calculated here, L. This value we are placing it here. We are using it here. L thin, H thick, L thick, H thin, L thin. Total force will be equal to magnetomotive force will be equal to 604.79 ampere tons. So F is equal to Ni, we know. We need to calculate the current. I will be equal to F by N. Substitute the value of F divided by N is 500. It is given in the problem. You will get it as I is equal to 1.2096 amperes. This is our third answer, third target. Coming to the next problem, we are having a circular ring of magnetic material, has a mean length of 1 meter and a cross-sectional area of 0.01 meter square. A saw cut of 5 mm width is made in the ring. Calculate the magnetizing current required to produce a flux of 1 milliwebers in the air gap. If the ring is wound uniformly with a coil of 200 turns, take relative permeability of the ring of the material is equal to 500 and neglect the leakage and fringing. We are having a circular ring. Whose cross-sectional area is 0.001 meter square, and if you check the mean length from here, complete this length is 1 meter. This length is in 1 meter. Now if we cut this, because by taking a saw, he said saw cut. Saw cut means we are cutting this ring with the help of a saw. When we cut, there exists some gap, and this air gap is of 5 mm. This air gap is of 5 mm. We need to calculate the current value to require to produce a flux of 1 milliwebers. To produce a flux of 1 milliwebers, we need to identify the flux value. In the air gap, wound uniformly, and the number of turns of this coil is 200 turns, and the permeability of the ring is 500. We need to calculate the magnetizing current I. We need to calculate the magnetizing current I. Let us write the given data. We are having a length of ring 1 meter. Because of saw cut, there exists some gap, air gap of 5 mm. The cross sectional area is 0.001 meter square. Flux is 1 milliweber. Number of turns 200. Is it number of turns 200? Yeah, number of turns 200. And the permeability is 500. Permeability, sorry, is it relative permeability? Relative permeability, mu r. Mu r is 500. Now, what we need to calculate? We need to calculate the current. So, F is equal to H into LC plus HLG. Core and air gap, these are the two materials what we have. In the magnetic circuit, one material is made up of core and another material is made up of air gap. So, this force, magnetomotive force, will be equal to number of turns into current plus H into L of the core, Hg into Lg of the air gap. Hc can be written as B by mu naught mu r Lc plus B by mu naught mu r for air gap into Lg. Why B and B are same? B flux density are same as the cross sectional area in air gap as well as the ring is same. Cross sectional area of the air gap and the cross sectional area of the ring is same. Hence flux density will be same. Now B will be equal to flux per unit area. Flux is 1 into 10 to the power of minus 3. This is given. 1 milliwebers divided by cross sectional area is 0.001, which is equal to 1 Tesla, nothing but 1 into 10 to the power of minus 3. Now let us substitute in this. 200 is the number of turns, current is equal to 1 into divided by 4 pi into 10 to the power of minus 7 into 500 plus 1 into 5 into 10 to the power of minus 3 divided by 4 pi into 10 to the power of minus 7. Okay, 200 I is equal to, now current I, 200 I, from this if you evaluate, 200 I is equal to, this complete parameter will be equal to 557 ampere turns. From here I will be equal to 27.85 amperes, 27.85 amperes. Coming to the problem number 7, we are having a two coils which are wound on a toroidal core. This is wound on a toroidal core. It means circular form. It is in the circular form, but it has some different cross sectional area, thicker one. The core is made of silicon sheet steel. The core is made of silicon sheet steel and has a cross section, square cross section. It means when we cut this ring, the cross sectional area, visible cross sectional area is in the form of square. This is one important point. The coil currents are I is equal to 0.28 amperes and I2 is equal to 0.56 amperes. We need to determine the flux density at the mean radius of the core. It means at this mean point we need to determine the flux density of the core. Assuming constant flux density over the cross sectional area of the core, determine the flux in the core, and also flux we need to calculate, and later on we need to determine the relative permeability, and some information is given in the graphical form in the last page. It means if we go to this sheet, this is the relationship between field intensity H and flux density. We call this as an BH curve. Now problem number 7, if we go to the solution, we are having a thick circular form of ring. If we cut the cross sectional area V is in the form of square. The inner circle radius is 19 centimeters and the outer circle radius is 21 centimeters. Current flowing in the first coil is I1, current flowing in the secondary coil is I2. Number of turns in the first coil is 600, number of turns in the secondary coil is 300. Let us go to the solution. We are having I1 is equal to, this is the given data, core is made up of silicon steel. It means we are having two MMFs which are added together, to the circuit. This is given to the circuit and this is given to the circuit, both are added to each other. Then the total MMF will be equal to, F is equal to N1 I1 plus N2 I2. What is F? F is N1 I1. Substitute the value of N1, it is given, I1 is also given, N2 is given, I2 is also given. So total force will be equal to 336 ampere turns. If we calculate the field intensity, magnetic field intensity, H is equal to F by L. F value we have calculated and L value is 2 pi R. What is R? R is the radius from the mean. It means from this, if you at the middle point, this is 19 and this is 21, this thickness will be 2. And half of this thickness will be equal to the mean area, circle. From this mean circular area, we need to calculate the radius. The radius will be 19 plus this distance is 1. 19 plus 1 will be equal to 20 centimeters. So that we have written 19 plus 1 into 10 power of minus 2. If we calculate, you will get a field intensity of 267.38 ampere turns. Now we need to calculate B. How do we calculate B? B is equal to flux density is equal to mu into H. B is equal to mu into H, but we don't know mu R. Mu R is also not given, so we cannot calculate it. What other hint he has given? He has given a hint of graph. If you go to the graph, 267.38 field intensity at a 267 from the graph, 267, this is 200, this is 300, this is 400. In between this we are having 250, slightly greater than this. If we move above, it will reach 1.14. If we reach, it will reach 1.14. 200 is, now check this. See, from 250, 267 somewhere here. From here 260, if we go like this, it is somewhere here, slightly 1.1, slightly greater than 1.1, slightly greater than 1.14, slightly greater than 1.1 is, we are considering it as 1.14. It means for this field intensity from the graph, we are getting a flux density of 1.14. Why we have taken this? Why we have selected this part? Why? Because this is for cast iron, this is for cast steel, and this graph is for silicon sheet steel, and the material what we are using is silicon sheet steel. The material what we are using is the silicon sheet steel. So from the graph of silicon sheet steel at a 267.38, it is something nearer to 1.1, and that value what we have selected is 1.14. It means for the field intensity of H is equal to this much value, 267.38, the flux density will be equal to 1.14 from the graph. 1.14 from the graph. The next thing is we need to calculate the flux. Flux is equal to flux density into cross sectional area. Flux density is 1.14 into square cross section. Square cross section means if I cut this, inside the face will be in the cross sectional area will be in the form of square. This width is how much? This is 19 and this edge is 21. So this thickness is 2. If this is 2, depth will also be 2 as it is a square cross section. So the cross sectional area will be equal to 2 into 2, converting into meters 10 power minus 4. This will be 4.56 into 10 to the power of minus 4 flux. This is the flux. We have calculated flux density from the graph and flux from the square cross section, and then relative permeability. The third parameter that we need to calculate is the relative permeability. Mu r is equal to B divided by mu naught into H, which is equal to 1.14. We have calculated this from the graph. Mu naught value is 4 pi into 10 to the power of minus 7. H value is 267.38. You will get relative permeability of 3392.86. Approximately you can write it as 3393. Coming to the problem number 8, we are having a magnetic circuit, a figure below provides flux in the two air gaps. We are having fluxes in the two air gap, this air gap and this air gap. The coils N1 is equal to 700. Number of turns in this coil and number of turns in this coil is 200, and they are connected in series. Current flowing in this coil is 0.5 ampere. Neglect leakage flux, flux reluctance of the iron. The reluctance of the iron is infinite permeability. Reluctance of the iron is infinite permeability means it is reluctance will be equal to 0, and fringing air gaps, and also we are neglecting the fringing air gaps. Neglect the flux, determine the flux and flux densities in the air gap. We need to calculate the flux and flux density of the air gap. If we check the given information, length of the air gap 1 0.05, length of the air gap 2 Lg2 is equal to 0.1, L1 is equal to L2 is equal to L4 is equal to L5 is equal to 2.5. It means this is equal to this length is equal to this length is equal to this length. How much it is? 2.5 centimeters. And L3 is equal to this width. This width is equal to 5 centimeters. This width is equal to 5 centimeters. Depth of the core into the screen is 2.5 centimeters. What we need to calculate? Flux and flux densities. We will evaluate flux, and flux density will be a homework for you. Just calculate and let me know the values. Let us calculate the flux for this solution, for this problem. To calculate the flux, if you draw the circuit, the given data, if you draw the circuit, N1 is equal to 700, N2 is equal to 200, I is equal to 0.5 amperes. Flux is equal to, you can write it as flux is equal, we need to calculate the flux and also flux densities. the total flux which is coming out here, the total flux which is coming out here is phi 1 plus phi 2. MMF of the two coils oppose each other. If you check the MMF of the magnetomotive force of this and magnetomotive of this N1, this force will be, we are opposing to each other. Now if we consider the reluctance of the core is 0, we are having reluctances in air gap, and also the air gap length AG1, cross sectional area of the AG1 air gap length, sorry, length of the gap 1 is given, length of the gap 2 is also given. Length of the gap 1 is, it is given in the problem, length of the gap 1 is LG1 is equal to 0.05 and length of the gap 2 is 0.1. Now cross sectional area AG1 is equal to AG2 is equal to, you can write length of the gap 1 into distance. Is it right? Cross sectional area. Yeah, if you check this circuit, let us calculate the AG1. AG1 cross sectional area of the gap 1. Cross sectional area of the gap 1 is L1 into depth. Cross sectional area of the gap 2 is L5 into depth. We know L1 and L5 both are same. L1 and L5 both are same, 2.5. So AG1 is equal to AG2, which is equal to 2.5 into 10 power minus 2 into 2.5 into 10 power minus 2. This is the length of the air gap 1 or length of the air gap 2 into the depth 2.5 into 10 power minus 2, which is equal to 6.25 into 10 power minus 4. Reluctance of the air gap 1 LG1 by mu AG1, which is equal to 0.05. Length of the air gap is this much divided by 4 pi into 10 power minus 7 into 1 into 6 point air gap cross sectional area. From here substitute the value, you will get it as 0.637 into 10 to the power of 6 ampere turns per Weber. Similarly RG2, reluctance in the air gap 2, length of the air gap 2 divided by mu AG2. You will get it as length of the air gap 2 is 0.1 into 10 power of minus 2 divided by mu naught mu r into cross sectional area 1.27, just double of this. Why? Because the length is double and remaining all parameters are same. So flux in the air gap 1 will be equal to Ni by Rg1. Flux in the air gap will be equal to Ni by Rg1. Current flowing is this much. Reluctance of the air gap, the N1, the total flux will be equal to what? N1 minus N2 into I. N1, the total force. The force is the difference. Difference between MMFs are opposing each other. So the MMF is equal to, N is equal to, in this case, N1 minus N2 into I. For flux, force divided by Rg1. The force is N1 minus N2 into I divided by Rg1. 500 into 0.5 divided by Rg1 is reluctance in the air gap 1. Similarly, for flux in the coil 2, we will be getting 500 into 0.5 divided by 1.274 into 10 to the power of 6 Rg2. You will get flux in the air gap 2. What will be the total flux? This flux plus this flux. How about the flux density? How about the flux density? Flux density, now the next parameter we have calculated the total flux and also the individual fluxes. Now we need to calculate the flux in the air gap 2, flux in the flux density in the air gap 1, flux density in this air gap 2. So flux per unit area. We know the area is here. We know the flux in this value, in this path. We know the flux in this path. This flux divided by the area, this flux divided by the area will be giving the value of flux densities in each path. That you need to calculate and let me know the values by course messages. Solve it and send it. With this we have completed the sheet 1. If you are having doubts, you can discuss in the class.